The reason the people you mentioned, they use something called an alter ego, which is a they create a character that they can become in moments when they have to perform. In moments of high stress, high pressure, I'm not myself, I'm this other being. The reason that's powerful is because, again, it creates distance between how you feel you are and the person you want to become. And it's often in moments of stress or pressure. So, for example, Kobe Bryant, at that point in his career, he was not very popular. He was getting booed everywhere he went, and people were saying, Boo Kobe. So, he was like, okay, when I step on that, I am no longer Kobe Bryant. I am now the Black Mamba. And it's like this snake and this, that he would visualize it. So he would go on, he would hear Boo Kobe, but mentally he had made that distinction. So he was able to become this other thing. He was like, I'm now performing as this other thing. Beyonce was really introverted and shy, but she knew she couldn't be like that if she was going to be a global powerhouse on stage. She would have to dance a certain way she wasn't comfortable. She would have to, perform and dress and all these things that she would never do in her normal life. So instead of being Beyonce, she called herself Sasha Fierce. That's my like stage name, performance, identity. And it would give her confidence. I do the same thing. I used to be very uncomfortable going on stage and speaking, but then I kind of thought of myself as playing a role. I was like, I am now going to play the role of journalist. It is my job to ask these hard questions, all this stuff. That took the edge off and the nerves went away because I knew I was playing a character. And David Goggins, he's, this extreme athlete. He used to be severely bullied as a kid. So he says David Goggins was a weak kid. And David Goggins' whole thing is built, not born. So he's like, I built Goggins. Like this is my identity. And I actually don't like the term alter ego. I more like aspirational self. It's the person you aspire to be. And the more that you can act like your aspirational self, the more that delta between who you are and who you want to become starts to narrow, the more that you do it. So as Beyonce started performing more and more, her confidence went up naturally. And then she kind of became this aspirational self of Sasha Fierce. So in a later interview in her career, they said, so what happened to Sasha Fierce? And she's like, oh, I killed her long ago. Like I am now that person. So you don't end up needing the psychological crutch over the long period of time when you've actually become this person.